Welcome! There seems to be some confusion on what this event is actually called. In much of the advertising, Breaking Brick Mountains is the most prominent title, and many people call it that. When you go to the official page, the first thing you see is Peculiar Petrus Presence Baffles Miners. But this is just the headline for the fictional newspaper article. Now, if you read the URL for the event page, the intended title seems to be There's Golems in Those Hills. Maybe this is why many people just call it the Dragon Quest or DQ event. Anyway, this is a crossover or collaboration event with Dragon Quest X. If you don't know, Dragon Quest X is the MMO of the Dragon Quest series and has not been released outside of Japan. This is now the third time this event has occurred and is one of the first collaboration events added to the game. Many people believe this event was reactivated to give people something to do while waiting for patch 5.3 during the production slowdown caused by the current situation. This is one of 3 crossover events involving Square Enix properties whose rewards have not been put on the online store yet. The others being The Maiden's Rhapsody, which just ended its 3rd appearance, and the Final Fantasy XV event, A Nocturne for Heroes, which first appeared last year in April. Some people are wondering if we will see the Noctis event next, right before the release of 5.3. The event is currently active and will last until July 27th. Any character that did this event before cannot do it again, so let's dig out another alt. In order to participate, you need to have any combat class at level 7, which means you can totally do this on a trial account. You can pick up and turn in the quest on any class, but you do need to be able to fight in the Fates. There are no MSQ requirements, but you do need to at least have access to Ul'dah and Central Thanalan. If you didn't start in Ul'dah, getting up to Call of the Sea is highly recommended. Let's do this since it's easily missed. The event vendor, Tuffy, is open for business and she sells only one item, the King Slime Crown for 57 gil. This hat has some interesting movement physics, but you won't see it unless you have movement physics set to full in the graphics settings. Unfortunately, this hat will not currently show on Vaira nor Hrothgar. Make your way to Ul'dah. You can find Havoc Alvac right across from the Adventurers Guild. Speak to him to pick up the quest, Breaking Brick Mountains. He says he's a journalist with the mithril eye, but he doesn't exactly dress in the manner of a journalist. He sends you to speak to a representative of Amagina and Sons by the Thaumaturges Guild. Use the Ethernet to quickly travel there. When you get there, you meet the beefy businessman, who doesn't exactly look like a local, but who am I to judge? After he nearly soils himself, he asks you to go and get a chunk of one of the mysterious golems that have suddenly appeared throughout the realm. Why? He promises you a refreshing reward when you get back. At this point, you need to go to one of 5 locations to complete a 2-Fate series. However, the map button in this quest won't show you where to go at this stage. For convenience, since it's the closest, most people just use the Ethernet to go out the Gate of Nald to the Silde excavation site in Central Thanalan and wait for it. In all 5 locations, there is a normal fate that appears in the same location. From what I've seen, the normal fate will spawn once between spawns of the event fate, and so this can be quite a long wait. Some people might prefer to teleport around to the other locations instead of just waiting. The first fate, Brick by Brick, just requires you to defeat earthen brickmen. Notice the pile of stone in the middle?
That is a nice boulder.
The second fate, which is usually brick by stone brick, begins with that pile coming to life to form a giant stone golem, known as the Stone Brickman.
It was a rock monster!
You need to defeat this guy to complete this fate and receive an item, a Brickman Chunk.
It's a rock!
You only have to complete the second fate for the quest item.
But it's a rock.
I know it's a rock!
So if you show up a little late, you should be fine. Ride or teleport back to Ul'dah and return to the beefy businessman outside the Thaumaturges Guild. Give him the rock to receive your refreshing reward. He motions to a group of ladies who seem to only be there for two reasons.
Tits and ass.
And they offer you something they call a puff puff. Anyway, after they have their way with you, Havoc shows up. Seems he's been paid by Amangina and Sons certain favors to write a favorable story. I had a bad feeling about him. When you turn in the quest, you get a little XP, a minion, and a helmet. You also get a... Oh wait. No, you don't. You don't even get an achievement? The minion, the wind-up Brickman, is a miniature golem that looks a lot like the classic golem from the Dragon Quest series. The thug's mug is just like the helm worn by the beefy businessman. When worn by a Makote, two ear flaps appear on the top. For Elizin and Lalafell, the flaps appear on the sides. Aura horns just kind of poke right through. It does show up on Hrothgar, but not Viera. It is a level 10 helmet and actually has stats, so it might be useful at lower levels. But I would just go ahead and put it in the armoire along with the King Slime crown. Oh, and it can be dyed. Finally, the Puff Puff cutscene is available in the Unending Journey book, so you can see what happens with the different choices. If you really want to, you can do the fates as much as you like, but there isn't much point. They give you XP, Gil, and company seals like any other fate, but they don't count for the challenge log or for fate achievements. They are pretty much the same no matter which location you choose. The only difference is that the one in Upper Lenosha is level 30, and the one in the Northern Shroud is 28. The other three are level 7. Other fates spawn in the same locations, and you will usually see those at least once before you see the Golem fates again. I believe there is a small chance you will get Brick by Gold Brick instead of Brick by Stone Brick as the second fate. I have not seen this special fate this year and only have vague recollections of seeing it in 2017. Being a Dragon Quest event, there are several references to the Dragon Quest series. Puff Puff is kind of a running gag. Golems are monsters that appear in various forms throughout the Dragon Quest Dragon Warrior series. Slimes and the King Slime are also common monsters, with the slime often considered the Dragon Quest mascot. The Thug's mug is worn by several NPCs and is an obtainable item in the 9th installment. Well, quite frankly, this event kinda sucks. Maybe that was a little harsh, it's not that bad, but it was one of the earliest events added to the game. If the point of these collaborations is to draw attention to other properties, as far as I can tell, this doesn't really give someone who isn't familiar with Dragon Quest much to go on. We are not introduced to any specific characters, and there's a lot more to the Dragon Quest games than Golems and Puff Puff. It seems this event only exists to set up a joke that would be recognized as a running gag by those who have played the DQ games, but might leave those unfamiliar scratching their heads about what kind of games these actually are. Dragon Quest is popular around the world, though not nearly as much as Final Fantasy. DQ10 is one of the few games in the series not released around the world. If they were to localize it, they should have a trial system similar to 14. They could allow players to add Dragon Quest X to their existing account alongside Final Fantasy XIV and 11, perhaps at a reduced price for all three. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my content, and feel free to express yourself by liking, disliking, or commenting below. Goodbye.